Hello guys, it's your girl Wild Honey, and I am just now getting some relief. What do I mean by I'm just now getting some relief? Ladies, that time, yes, of the month came, and I wasn't in a lot of pain, but I had some pain, and it drained me. It just drained me. And thank goodness I didn't have to work today. So I got up early, I took a shower, and for the rest of the day, I stayed in bed. Yeah. I didn't even get up to refresh myself. That's how much I just stayed in bed. And that pain, it was just there. It wasn't like when I was younger, I used to have very, very painful cycle periods. Yeah, because I started my cycle early. I think I was like, I don't think I was 9, but I could have been around 10. 10 or 11. That's kind of late. I think that's early. I could have been 10. And I've been keeping, well, I think it's because I also was eating just junk today. I didn't eat any food. I had those cakes that I bought earlier, and I had some of the salt and vinegar potato chips because I'm not feeling for any. I'm just feeling for, and look at my face is getting rounder and rounder. But when that time comes, ladies, how we crave that kind of stuff. We crave junk food. So I was having some potato chips and stuff, and you know how that salt and vinegar is. It makes you thirsty. So, and that was since earlier on, but I've been keeping hydrated. I did not eat the whole bag in one fell swoop, if that's what some of y'all thinking. No, I didn't. But yeah, guys, I'm just catching up with you all, catching you all up with my day, which really, there was nothing going on except that I just was not feeling it. And what time is it? 11:59 at night. So basically, morning time. That's to tell you how nocturnal I am. I am now feeling like this is my morning, right? Midnight while you guys are sound asleep, this is my morning, and I'm off again tomorrow. So I'm probably gonna have a late morning because I am now feeling alive. Some people wake up in the morning and oh, this a glorious morning. I don't want to see morning. I don't want to see morning. My room was dark. I don't know for how long. This light was on probably about that time when I got up. I got early for me, and I know I said I got up early, but early for me is like 10, 11. So around that time I probably got up and freshened myself. But guys, there's something I want to talk to you all about, and it's about school. And oh my God. It's nothing big, but it just, school, it just, it's just so much. Hold on, let me pause this video, collect myself, and I'll come back and tell you all. And guys, I know this light is kind of harsh, right? It's this, I don't have proper lighting, so I use this little thing. Look at you, I'm like, where did she go? This is the light, and it's very harsh because I don't have like um a light for this tripod. um, they broke, so I was trying to see if I could get a better light in the meantime, but that's all I have. So guys, please bear up with this harsh light. But hold on guys, I'm gonna come back and we're going to talk about me and my endeavors for school. Okay, guys, I'm back. All right, guys, so I don't know where to start with this. Oh, God. So, listen, guys, okay, because there's so much that I could say about me and my journey with school, and so much that I don't want to say because I might have to, like, guys, here, okay, honestly, I'm not brave enough. Well, it's not brave, I shouldn't say brave, but I don't. You see how some people could speak out about things that happen in their life, and they don't really, they, because it's their experience, they don't really care how they make other people look in the experience they're given about themselves. I am not there yet, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. I am not there to where I could, say, I don't care how nobody feel about this. This is my experience, and I'm gonna tell my story, and this is what it is. I'm just not there yet. I just feel like, even though there are a lot of things that happen with my experience with going to school and where and it kind of held me back to cause me to be where I'm at right now. I just don't feel like I'm ready to, to say that or tell that because it's going to involve people and people that are supposed to be close to me, and it's not going to paint a good picture of them. So that's why I struggle a lot with telling the beginning to the current status of my school journey because it just hasn't been good, and I've dropped some hints about that in some other videos, but to like go into detail and tell you all it's because of this and it's because of that, you know, it's gonna bring in people, and I just don't, I take accountability for some of the things myself, like particularly when it comes to math. I already know that I am not good with math, and that stemmed from childhood because I grew up under somebody who did not know how to do math. And although they wanted the best for us or for me, they did not particularly went about it the correct way, and it caused me a lot of trauma to the point where anything concerning math and anything that has math in it, example science, it triggers me, and it sends me back to that dark place. And people will think that, oh, that's an excuse. Some people will feel like I should be over that by now, get over it, get on with it. But it's it's not that simple to do that, guys. It's just not that simple. And so for a long time, I've been in school off and on since 2013. And this is not trying to get a bachelor degree. This has been just trying to get my associate degree. Now, of course, things have come, things have happened, like the pandemic and stuff, but I did go to school in the pandemic for math because that is the sole thing that has kept me back for so long from achieving my associate degree, and I still feel it. And the reason why, guys, if I only tell you all that, if I only tell you all. Okay, but yeah, I failed it. Also in the pandemic, I was doing statistics, maths 153. So let's get back to current times. I am a person that refuse, like I told y'all in the last video, to give up on myself academically, because I know I could do it. Guys, the only problem I have is math and science. Throw anything else at me and I'm able to do it. But it so happened, I don't know what happened to the camera there. I really don't know. This phone is wonky. What was I saying? The only thing that has always presented an issue for me is math and science. Yeah, oh, that's what I was going to say. But math and science are, unfortunately, and I know a lot of you all are going to disagree, but math and science are, unfortunately, the subjects or the courses that you need to get a good career, particularly in the medical field. Yeah, you can have a general studies associate degree and do something like, a substitute teacher, maybe work in a customer service related field or something like that. But when you're talking about a sustainable living, something that is comfortable enough for you not to have to really depend on other people and not feel too much of stress when paying your bills, that would be math and science and a career in the medical field. Say what you want. Unless you have a bachelor degree in another field, such as maybe business management or marketing or any other others field, you have to have at least a bachelor degree level to masters and sometimes PhD levels, because those degrees that are not so scientific related or math related, you're not going to get a proper job at the associate degree level. I don't know how else to explain that properly to you guys, because I feel like you have to have gone through that issue to understand where I'm coming from with that. So I have changed my degree status many times. When I say status, it was not always general studies. It was going to be business management at one point in time, accounting, even though it's not that heavily math related. I really didn't have a good teacher. And if you don't really understand the concept of accounts properly, it's going to throw you back, especially if you don't have a good teacher. Because there is some math in that, and you have to know, you have to understand. Guys, if you've had trauma connected to math, you have to understand how this thing plays out in your life. It just is like, it's basically, it basically keeps you back. It's almost as though if you've had it from childhood, you've been shot in the foot from childhood. You just are going to be terribly disabled with math unless you have a good support system around you, which I don't have, concerning that, to help you propel forward. I don't have that. So guys, I have always struggled. I tried to get help from what do you call them? Peers, your peers, your classmates. That sounds like kindergarten stuff, but from your peers. Guys, especially, and I'm only realizing this now, but I've always known that something was completely off with these people in the medical. Once you have uh, um and that was my experience circa 2014, 15, 16, because I've never stopped going to school. I've never stopped to this day. I've never stopped going to school. But that was my experience in those years going to school. That anything, even at the prerequisite level, your peers are very, what I understand now, and you're gonna say, I don't say narcissistic, but they had very high narcissistic traits. They were always in competition. Like they did not want to help anybody. There was no kind of empathy. Empathy was very low, and at a consistency of trying to, there was no helping each other or seeing somebody struggling and wanting to help them, even though somebody reached out to you for help, and that was from the teacher to the less the less brilliant person in the class. All of them at the prerequisite level. This is at prerequisite. I'm talking about Bio 110, Bio 109. So nobody wanted to help nobody. They would they would look down at you if you're struggling, that is. If you're asking too many questions, they roll in their eyes, they sick of you, you're struggling to understand. Nobody know. If somebody else tried to help you, people in that group will look at them like, why everybody just was trying, why you helping them, why that person, they don't really know, just let them feel. That was the attitude in these particularly science classes. It is also in the math classes too, because it was an air of, let me just get ahead, and who cares? In my country, they will say true poo with you if you don't understand, grasp the concepts, and you're failing. No, because I remember reaching out to somebody who was very quiet but was understanding the concepts, and I thought that she would be somebody that I could pair up with. We could go through this math experience and try to because she would be asking questions to some of the same questions I had, and I figured that so I asked her for help, and she said yeah, she will help me. We were supposed to call each other, meet up, online. You could do that these days, Zoom, whatever, through an online session, whatever, because we couldn't really stay back after school. I think our classes were pretty late, or then I think she had a job in the evening, whatever it was. When it came time for me to call that girl, and I call that girl, call. That girl never answered her phone. Never answered her phone. The next day, I saw her in class, and I'm wondering, well, we made this plan. We had definite plans. You took my number, I took your number. We were supposed to, and I'm waiting to see if she would say anything. She act like she didn't know me. She act like she never even saw me. And I was just stunned. I mean, this is the kind of attitude from teachers, from students, from peers I have always encountered in these maths and science classes. If you don't get it, you're not going to get help. Yes, there are now let me tell you about the Student Success Centers, which is tutoring. It's the same old story. You have tutoring for at least 1 hour that you could go and get help from the tutors. These tutors, you will come out of that tutoring session feeling more confused, because they're teaching you a whole different way from what the teachers are teaching you. It's supposed to be a more simplified version of what they're teaching you with these math concepts and these science concepts, but you're not grasping it. And by the time you ask them 1 or 2 questions, the time is up, and you have to book another session, and you're just getting more people. On top of that, I was dealing with Guys, and you can't, this is where I'm going to say to you guys, you cannot invalidate my experience because I know what I went through. On top of that, I was dealing with narcissism at home, a lot of manipulation, a lot of gaslighting, a lot of guilt tripping, a lot of financial abuse, a lot of just bringing down your self-esteem, everything. And I had a full-time job. It doesn't sound like a lot for some people because there are those people who have had it worse and pushed through and are working in the corporate world. Yay, good for you. You did that. But there are some people that that still were not able to overcome that because they just, I know myself, and kudos to those who made it and got out of that struggle. They had it hard at home, they had children, they pushed through it, and they're able to do it. There's different people have different tenacity, right? The things that I might succeed in, other people might not be able to succeed in. What I might find easy, they might not find easy, and it's vice versa. So I'm not, people will want to compare your struggles to their struggles, and it's just, it doesn't make sense. Okay, guys? Because you really don't know how you would have acted or what you would have done unless you walk in that person's shoes. You can't see. I don't think you really could see unless you were to walk in their exact shoes. You understand? So that has been the struggle. So currently, like I said, I refuse to give up on myself. I am still in this fight to get my degree, and I went back to find out about getting back into school and registering and all of that. So, at my big age, because I'm in my 40s, I know that my degree as it is currently, the declaration I have currently as my degree, which is general studies. How long is this? Okay, it's 22 minutes. I'm going to talk for only 30 minutes. And then I'm going, because I'm trying not to make these videos very long. So there will be a part 2, I guess. And guys, if it sounds like I'm ranting, just understand that school has been a long, frustrating, and at times traumatic journey for me. And it is not easy to keep going. It's easier to throw in the towel and just make your mind up to work basic jobs all the time and struggle. It's easier to make your mind up to just struggle through life. I'm telling you. But to make your mind up to want better for yourself, to want higher for yourself, it takes a different mindset, a different kind of determination. And it is not easy when everybody around you has seemed to be successful at your expense. Guys, you want to know why I made that statement, at my expense? It all has to do with putting yourself on the back burner for other people and being left behind, right? And now everybody is successful and you're left in the lurch to struggle. And it's not easy to look around and feel alone and be alone in that. And that's where I'm at with that. But I just can't give up on myself. I cannot, because if math and science are the only things that's holding me back, then that is the only thing I need to focus on to get ahead. So why not put my all into it and conquer it? A lot of the issues concerning narcissism in my life has left. It's still around, but not at the levels, not at the high levels it was, because certain people are not in my life anymore. Like I said, certain people have succeeded at my expense and they're gone. But so now I'm able to concentrate a little better. I feel a little bit more at peace, even though there's still that energy hanging around via some other people. I still appreciate the fact that I have a lot more peace than I did at the time that I started school. And I want to shout out Burn Beauty 2018, because since I've come across her channel, I've always just loved the fact that she says, whatever you're going through, this too shall pass. And that's kind of like, excuse me, I just had some canned mackerel. I love mackerel, and apparently it's making me burp. But that's kind of like the saying that my friend who passed, he always used to tell me, the longest rope has an end, right? And I could see certain things in my life, I am getting through them, right? How she always says, whatever you're going through, this too shall pass. What I was going through with high levels of narcissism has now lowered itself to a more bearable level. What it is I had gone through in the past with certain things, that was way worse. I survived it. So if I survive that, why can't I survive this? Why can't I get through this? Why can't I succeed in this? So I refuse to give up, because I am not that kind of person. I can't give up on myself like that, guys. And the fact that I know that I could do it every day. I know that I could get my degree and push for higher. In part 2 of this video, when I'm not so I don't know if I'm gonna be, I feel like I'm always gonna be triggered talking about this, because education and getting it in America, especially in these times that we're living in, it's complicated. I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's complicated. The time to had gotten your education was pre-pandemic times. In these times, people literally feel like it's a waste of time, and there might be some truth in that, but I just cannot give up on myself. So in part 2, I'm gonna let you all know what I'm doing, what I have now decided to change my degree to, and the challenges that may come about for me with this change of degree. It's going to require a lot of studying, because once again, my strong point is not math and science. And if you want to get a good career, it has to be science and math related, because that's where the medical field goes, And I live in Maryland. Maryland is a state known for medicine. John Hopkins is here, guys. And there is a great push to be in the medical field. That's where the jobs are. That's where you will get a good salary, Unfortunately, because I am not, while I like medicine, I Anyway, that will be in part 2 and maybe part 3 of these videos, but I'm wrapping this one up for now, guys. um, if you want to hear part 2 and part 3, I don't know how long this series will go on. Let me know in the comments, okay, guys? All right, guys, have a good day, a good night, a good morning, because it's what? It's now 12. It's 12:28 a.m., guys. Bye.